Today we're going to be solving the first problem in Project Euler. So to get started, you're going to need a new directory called Project Euler, and we're going to run npm init-y to initialize a package.json file and create the project. And go, if you haven't already, create an index.js file. We're going to install two libraries for this. We're going to install first off the Ramda library to let us use some functional methods. So npm i --save Ramda. And then we're going to install my custom library I made called home on the range. We're going to use the range function from that. So home on the range. I thought it was really neat. Python had a range function, and I wanted JavaScript to also, so I made this library for that. Great, we have both of those. Let's take a look at the problem, right? So if we list all the natural numbers below 10 that are multiples of 3 or 5, we get 3, 5, 6, and 9. The sum of these multiples is 23, okay? So they just added these up. And so all the natural numbers below 10, they're multiples. So multiples of 3, 3, 6, 9, and if we went above 10, 12, 15, 18, 21, and it keeps going, right? And multiples of 5 would be 5, 10, 15, 20, and just keeps going the whole way up, right? And then it says find the sum of all the multiples of 3 or 5. So that's what we were just talking about, below 1,000. So we need from all the multiples of 3 and 5 from 1 to 1,000, and then we're going to add them all together. So let's do that. Let's create, first off, let's import our libraries that we installed. Const, and we're going to import range equals require home on the range. And underneath that, we're going to import just the two functions we need from Ramda, not the whole Ramda object. So we can do const sum comma filter equals require Ramda. All right, and then let's shrink the terminal and write a function called main. Always start inside the main function. And we're going to set a const called total. We're just going to go right for it. Equals. And this is where we kind of need to think about how we're going to get to the answer. And we'll take it one step at a time for now. So let's not go straight to total. Let's do const number array equals, and we have this range function from home on the range, similar to Python's range from 1 to 1,000, and that includes 1 and 1,000, right? It doesn't go from 1 to 999 stop. It includes 1,000 on the end. So doing that, and then if we do, let's say return number array for now, and let's console.log the main function below, the running of it, and we should get an array from 1 to 1,000 if we run this file. So node, let's clear it first. Clear node index.js and scroll the terminal up. Okay, 1 to 100 and 900 more items. So we do get 1 to 1,000 there. Perfect. Excuse me, an array from 1 to 1,000. Next, we need to decide if these are a multiple of 3 or 5. So is 1 a multiple of 3 or 5? I don't know. Let's figure that out, right? So how do we do that? We can do const, we can say, this will be a filtered array, and we're going to set it equal to filter, the filter function from Ramda. And we're gonna filter if a number is a multiple of 3 or 5. We want that number to store in the filtered array. So we're gonna say is multiple of 3 or 5. And we don't have this yet, but this is gonna be a function. So we're gonna filter everything that is a multiple of 3 or 5. And we're gonna do that for the number array. All right, let's talk through that one more time. So we have this new filtered array that we're creating. And this filter function from Ramda is going to say, hey, everything that's a multiple of 3 or 5 from this number array from 1 to 1,000, take that out and store it inside of this filtered array. Now we don't have this function yet we don't have this filter conditional yet to determine what numbers are a multiple of 3 or 5. So now we need to make that. So underneath main, we're going to do a function and we're going to call it exactly this up here. Copy, Control C, paste is multiple of 3 or 5. And we know that that's going to take in a number. It's going to take in each number of the number array. So it takes in a number, and we're going to say, we're going to return if the number, this is the modulo sign, 3 triple equals 0. So if the number divided by 3 comes out to a remainder of 0, then it is divisible by 3, or it is a multiple of 3, and we want that number, not divisible, a multiple of. So like 6, 3 goes evenly into 6, so 6 is a multiple of 3. 9, same thing. If you tried to do 7, right, 7 divided by 3, you're going to get a remainder of 1. It's not 0, so it's not a multiple. We don't want 7. Same with 8, 9 we do. 10, no. 11, no. 12, yes. Okay, so if a number is divisible by 3, or has a remainder of 0 when you divide by 3, or it has number modulo 5, triple equals 0, so the number divides evenly into 5, that means it's a multiple of 5. So it doesn't have to be both. It's either divisible by 3 or 5. It can be both, but as long as one of these are true, so if this one's true, this whole statement's true. If it's divisible by 5, then this whole statement's true. With the or operator, if 1 is true, the whole thing's true. And that's what we want. It's 3 or 5. So we're going to return, and this will return like a boolean, a true or false, if it is divisible by 3 or 5. And then that true or false will decide if this number should go into this filtered array. All right, last step, we need to then let's make sure the filtered array works, right? So let's return filtered array, save, and down here, let's clear it, node index.js, run it. And now we have less items, which is good. That means it filtered it. Let's see what we got. That's not it. Here it is. 3 is divisible by 3, 5 by 5, 6 by 3, 9 by 3, 10 by 5, 12 by 3, and it goes on the whole way up through the 1,000 numbers. Each of these numbers in here is divisible by 3 or 5, which is exactly what we want. The last step is going to be to sum up that array, to add everything in that array. And the Lambda function sum allows us to do just that. So we can do const total equals sum filtered array. And then we can, can't do that. Then we can return the total and save it. Clear. And node index.js, and it sums them. It sums the numbers in the filtered array. So the total sum of all the numbers of all the multiples of 3 and 5 below 1,000 is 234,168. And that's pretty much it. Now we can do a little bit of refactoring, which is what we're going to do here. This main function can be squished down if you want to. If you prefer this and it looks cleaner to you, I actually like how it shows each step. But if you'd like to do it all in one step, we can do that. So I'm actually going to delete this and do const total equals. And the last step is to sum up all the numbers. So sum. And what do we want to sum? We want to sum the filtered numbers. So filter. And what do we want to filter? We want to filter is multiple of 3 or 5 from the range 1 through 1,000. So this is another way to write it. And we can return total. So we kind of can work from the inside out here. We get the range of 1 to 1,000, and that's an array. And then we filter out the multiples of 3 and 5 from that array. And then we take the sum of those filtered numbers and store that in total, and we return the total. Save it. Let's clear. Yeah, clear. Got to spell it right. Clear. Node index.js. And we still get the same answer, right? So that's problem number 1 from Project Euler in JavaScript. If you like this video, please subscribe, like the video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.